right? So let's keep going. So who am I? My name is David Kushner. I've been trading the markets for over 25 plus years. I trade stocks, options, forex, and futures. Not really forex much anymore. My background was I had an automotive parts business that I started when I was 18 years old, had that business for over 28 years, sold it in 2005, and since then I've been a full-time trader. 20 years already has gone by. Man. All right. So like most of you probably have a whole shelf of indicators trading systems that came with a lot of empty promises of helping you become more profitable and more consistent trader. So I know that I have like 3 or 4 hard drives full of stuff that's totally useless that I never used, that I spent a small fortune on, but that's part of your journey. Everybody goes through this journey. So I was in a webinar, just like you are, that Mark Sachs did, and I saw the money flow tracker software. And then I quickly realized that this methodology isn't based around the same old indicators that everybody else teaches, but more based on mathematical modeling, along with triple and quadruple screen analysis. And I'll explain what that is in a little bit. So now I only trade with institutional money flow. So whenever I talk about order flow or money flow, I'm talking about institutional money flow. It's made me much more profitable and much more consistent. And now I'm running over 70% win-loss rate. Actually, it's 75, but all right. So this is the agenda. We're going to talk about the money flow tracker software, how it works and all the parts of it, the high probability setups, the unbreakable rules to follow, how I trade breakouts and sidestep losing trades, the money flow tracker auto trader, and how to pass the evaluations and become a funded trader. So those who stay to the end of the webinar, it's about 45 minutes long, you'll get a very special discount plus some additional software as a quick action bonus. So let's dive into the world of ever wonder why some traders succeed while others don't. Well, in the world of trading, the difference between success and failure can be as stark as day and night. So let's delve into the reasons why some traders thrive while others stumble. First thing, lack of a trading plan. Successful traders meticulously plan their moves. They know what they'll trade, when, and how. Without a solid trading plan, you're like a ship without a compass, no direction. So if you think about it, trading is no different than everything you do every single day. So what do I mean by this? Well, let's say you're sitting at home and you say, you know, I got to go to the store. So I got to go get X product. Well, your plan is get in your car, turn left here, turn right here, go into the store, get what you want, get back in your car and come home. That's your plan. Well, trading is no different, okay? The next thing is you don't have an edge. An edge is a unique advantage in the market. It could be a specific strategy, technical analysis, or understanding a particular asset class. Traders who lack an edge often struggle. So our edge with the money flow tracker software is we trade with institutional order flow. All right. The next thing is psychological challenges. You know, it doesn't take any skill to be able to push a button. You know what I mean? Trading is as much about psychology as it is about numbers. You got fear, you got greed, you got impatience, and this can sabotage even the best strategies. So developing mental resilience and emotional discipline is crucial. So in the trade room, we call it mental mindset. Okay, next thing, over trading. This is a big one. People do it, especially newer traders. It takes a long time to become disciplined enough to know, hey, I'm at my max loss for the day. I have to stop trading. Because in your mind, you're thinking, well, I could take another trade and maybe make back some of my money. And then it starts snowballing from there. So over trading is excessive trading leads to exhaustion and poor decision making. Quality over quantity matters. I'll tell you a quick story, right, about over trading. A long time ago, I was trading Forex and I got into a position and I got into trouble and I'm sitting there and I'm watching the chart move tick by tick by tick by tick. You know, it's the worst waste of your time, and it does nothing but mess you up. The next thing is not adapting. Markets evolve. Traders who refuse to adapt to changing conditions fall behind. So stay informed and stay flexible. Remember, trading success isn't guaranteed, but understanding these pitfalls can improve your odds dramatically. Let me get a drink of water. So you need 4 things to create trading success. First thing you need is software that will give you a competitive edge over all other traders. The second thing is that edge needs to track the direction of money flow. What did I say before? Institutional money flow. The third thing is etched in stone rules to follow, and this will eliminate discretion. You know, the etched in stone rule to follow is number 3 and number 4 are the most important parts, right? The rules to follow. If you follow your rules, you only take trades and only have setups, you'll do much better. And patience to let the trade set up. If you don't have a setup, you can't take the trade. And that's part of number 3, etched in stone rules. So I'm going to break down the system in detail. Let me show you just a couple of trades that I took recently on some, these were option trades, right? Here's one on AMC for 139%. Here's one on GME for 188%. Here's another trade on 30-year bonds. That's 41 ticks at 31.25 a tick. Here's another trade on the euro. I could show you chart after chart after chart, but is that going to really help you? No, it's not going to help you, and I'm here to help you. So from the poll, it's likely you have a problem making money and being consistent. And why? You don't have the proper tools to officially manage your trades. You overtrade. Remember what I talked about, overtrading, revenge trading, impulsive decisions? You lack consistency. You trade with indicators that lag price. You lack a mathematical proven trade methodology. And all these things lead up to blowing trading accounts, messing with your trading mindset. So my commitment for you coming to this webinar is to bring this to an end. Believe me, I was in your position lots of times, and the last 4.5 years that I've been trading with the Money Flow Tracker software has been unbelievably, I found my journey has ended. I'm at a home, and this is where I'm always going to be. All right, so let's keep going. So why do 95 to 98% of traders go broke or quit trading? Because they follow the same old things that everybody else teaches: price action, MACD, Elliott wave, divergence, price patterns, Fibonacci, again. All these things really don't work. They have no future predictive properties. Now, I am not, and I'm going to repeat this, I am not saying that the Money Flow Tracker can predict the future. That would be ridiculous. So Mark Sachs had over 15 plus years in the field of applied mathematics. He was a professor at Jefferson University, and after 8 long years, he engineered the software system called the Money Flow Tracker trade methodology that can improve your trade performance. And we have over 500 traders between our 3 trade rooms, and we all trade together every day, shoulder to shoulder. So before we get started, I'd like to share my trade journal with you. So I use an online trade journal. Let me go ahead and log into this real quick. And this trade journal, every day, I go into, I'm going to go back to, wait a minute, I can't do this. I have to go back to my, where is it? My 2024 journal, because we're just in the first few days of the year. Okay. So here are my stats. I'm at a 75.22% win rate at a 3.40 risk factor. So I'm making $3.40 to every $1 I risk. So this trade journal every day I go to my trade performance in NinjaTrader. I download all my trades into an Excel worksheet, and I click on this button, and I click here. And this one was from today. I would click on that, and it would import all my trades from NinjaTrader. Here's my journal. It actually even imports the trade. Where is the trade ID? I know it's here. I don't know where it is, unless I stop showing it. Normally the trade ID is right here from NinjaTrader. So these are all trades that were imported from my daily trading, and it allows me to monitor what I'm doing on a daily basis. Here's my equity curve for 2024. We did $120,000 in 2024. I can look at what I've done on a daily basis here. This only goes back 6 months right now. So since July to the end of the year, look how many nice winning days we've had, and look how many small losing days we've had, except this day. That was my biggest losing day, and it was just one of those days. So, I mean, we don't have a whole lot of losing days, but we do have some. But if you look here, look how many days we did not trade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. We did not take trades on these days. Why? Because we did not have setups. The markets were choppy. We didn't get setups. And if we don't have a setup, we don't trade. So that's 6 days we didn't trade in November. And look what we did in November. 12,859. Now, December was a slow month. We only did 4,800. But that's okay. 4,800 is still pretty good. But in December, because of the holidays, right, we didn't trade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days, because the week of Christmas and the week of New Year's, it was just so choppy. And the reason why we didn't trade, like I just said, was because it was choppy. And if you try to trade choppy days, you're going to lose money. You're going to lose money. So when we get setups, we take trades. When we don't have setups, we don't take trades. All right. So the market consists of many small retail traders that are these little marbles, plus one or more large institutional trader. Well, if we know that most retail traders lose money, why would we want to trade with them? We want to follow the whales. We don't want to follow the guppies, because the whales feed on the guppies. So the money flow tracker software, let's get into the software, okay, has 3 key metrics that determine money flow. First thing is triple screen assessment of correlative markets. The next thing is triple screen assessment of order flow. And the last one is triple screen assessment of the Laguerre from momentum. Now, what do I mean by triple screen assessment? Easy. I like to keep things simple. 3 time frames in agreement. So for instance, if you're trading a 2-minute chart, we're trading in multiples of 3. Your mid time frame would be 6. Your higher time frame would be, my screen is frozen. My screen is not frozen. Can everybody see my screen? With no problem? That says triple screen method of data analysis. Rory said, everybody says it's working fine. All right. So, and your higher time frame would be 18 minutes. So triple screen assessment of order flow is the first powerful force that moves price. So when the first thing everybody thinks of, I say order flow, they think of these candles with all these numbers on the left, all these numbers on the right, on the top, on the bottom, on the side, upside down, inside out, and backwards. It is virtually impossible for your brain, especially when the markets are moving, to compute all this stuff and then be able to make sense of it and then be able to trade it. So what we did was we went and we developed our own order flow candles. So what do I mean by triple screen assessment of order flow? Anytime I say triple screen assessment, it's a tongue twister. I'm talking about 3 time frames in agreement. So we want to see order flow going in the same direction on 3 time frames. So these are our order flow candles. So if you have a green outline candle, means the delta in this candle is positive, and a red outline candle means the delta of the candle is negative. So keep it simple. This is the way I think about it when I'm trading. If I have green outline candles, I have buyers, more buyers than sellers. And if I have red candles, I have more sellers than buyers. All right, I'll explain what these lines are in the candles. Right, and I wanted to pop up a screenshot of what our charts look like. Very clean, very simple to determine. Our indicators are displayed by these line charts. So, you know, it's very clean and it's very easy. And that's why it's easy to follow the rules. So the next thing is triple screen assessment of momentum. It's the second powerful force that moves price. So we use the LIQUIDITY for momentum, and we have our hybrid candles, which are those wicks inside the candles. So again, we want to see the modified LIQUIDITY momentum going in the same direction on 3 time frames. So the hybrid candles, these are the wicks. We are the only company that has the wicks inside Renko bars, Renko bars. So how do we use these wicks? We use these wicks for our benefit. So when you have a wick that opens and closes and doesn't go below the previous candle's low, that's a momentum burst, the little wicks. When you have a long wick, that's a pullback candle. And we use these pullback candles for our benefit. The next thing is the modified LIQUIDITY. That's this indicator on the bottom. So we took all these indicators, we added an algorithm to them, and developed the modified LIQUIDITY. So what is the modified LIQUIDITY? It's an oscillator, but it doesn't show divergence. It just shows strength of trend. So the modified LIQUIDITY is on the bottom, and right above it is the line chart that we use to tell us what it's doing. So when it crosses below 20, it turns red. When it crosses back above and sloping up, it'll be lime green. When it crosses above 80, it will be dark green. And when it crosses below and is sloping down, it'll be orange. But ultimately, what we wanted to see it is we want to see it pinned at 100 and pinned at 0. So we get our acceleration dots. Okay, let me grab a little drink of water here. Now we'll talk about our quant lines, and that's the third most powerful force that moves price. So what are our quant lines? We took 28 market components, we plugged them into our AI system for correlation. So most people understand correlation, they know what it is, but they don't pay any attention to it. But we do, because we feel that it's really important. So let's say, in this case, you see ES, RTY, YM, and NQ all going up in the same direction. That's powerful stuff because you see all the markets rising at the same time. Now, let's say ES is going down and the rest of the markets are going up. What do you think is going to happen to ES? Well, it'll either stop going down and keep going sideways, or it'll start following the other markets in the same direction. So we decided that, you know what, 3 time frames isn't really enough to do a proper analysis of a trend. So we added a 4th time frame, and we call that triple screen analysis, quadruple screen analysis, triple screen analysis. No, quadruple screen analysis, I'm sorry. And we call that indicator the C2 indicator. So all the C2 indicator would do is, if you're trading a 2-minute, you would take 18 times 3, and that would be your setting for your C2 indicator. But we trade with Unirango bars, so we use range bars for our higher time frames. So the C2 indicator is displayed by this stair-stepping line above the candles. Red going up, green going up, red going down. Okay. So let's put it all together. And it's really easy. Right? The rules and the setups. First rule, we have to have the colored background, either green or dark pink. That's 3 time frames in agreement. We want 4 time frames in agreement, so we have to have the C2 indicator. Rule number 3, the solid line is our trend line. The dot dash line is the 15, we call it. It's not just a 15 moving average, it's our 15 moving average, right? So the solid line needs to be above going up, the dot dash line, and below going down. If you run into a pivot or any other obstruction like higher time frame support, the VWAP, the open of the day, whatever it is, you must let it break that particular obstruction by 3/4 of the body of the candle, and then you must get a pullback candle. And I'll explain to you why you have to get the pullback candle. Right? The next rule, and this is the easiest rule, the short-term and the long-term quant must be in agreement, either red or green. The multiple time frame Laguerre must be in agreement with the quants, either red or green. And the modified Laguerre must be pinned at 100 or 0 to get our acceleration dots. So there's the setup, there's the trade. So this trade was taken on this candle, and we exited when the dot dash line turns either from green to yellow or green to red. That's when we exit. So this was 63 ticks. That's $630 per contract on CL. So this is what I tell everybody. Trading with the money flow tracker rules will keep you out of non-trending markets. Non-trending markets is where most traders lose money. So remember, it's okay not to trade every day. You show up, you sit and you monitor your charts, you wait for your setup. If you don't get a setup at the end of your trading day, you don't take a trade. Because here's what I have found out. I've had so many traders come to, I've taught thousands of traders. And the thing that people say to me probably is the most is, I make money one day and I lose money the next day. And then I lose a little bit more money the next day and I make more money the next day. And at the end of the week, I'm really back where I started. So the problem is that you're making money on the trending days and you're losing money on the choppy days. So that's why I say it's okay not to trade every day. If the markets don't look good, if they look choppy, whatever, don't trade them, because you're not going to win on those days. I'm telling you from experience. So here's a trade that I took on CL. It broke the pivot, got a fast pullback, like boom, boom, 2 seconds. I couldn't get in. Then I got a deeper pullback, right? So I got my pullback. I placed my order. I got my first profit target of 10 ticks. So that's $100 on CL. And then I exited on line change. You can see these are my orders from NinjaTrader, right, at 55 ticks. So that's 100 plus 550, that's $650 on this trade, and it didn't even take a minute. Okay. The money flow tracker software gives you clear and exact entries per our setups, clear and exact exits. You can either exit on line change or you can trail your stop. And we have all the ATMs pre-configured for targets. So I'm going to teach you how I trade breakouts with the money flow tracker software, and I call it the pullback and go strategy. And that's what the pullback candles help with. So let me grab my pen real quick. And if you have any questions, put them in the questions box and I will answer every single one of them. Or Rory will answer them. One of us will answer your questions. So look, this is the pullback and go strategy. You break a pivot. 3/4 of the shaded area is higher time frame support resistance, right? Breaks it. So what happens normally when the market breaks a support level or a resistance level? It tends to come back and retest it. So we have to have 3/4 of the candle break. That's here. Then we wait until this candle pulls back to at least halfway or more. And that's when we place our order. Sell on down close. Now, in this case, the market kept going. But what happens if this pullback candle, I'm not a good drawer with my mouse, comes down and then the market decides to go boop and run all these stops and keep going back in any other direction? Well, this order will get canceled. If this candle closes up, this order will get canceled automatically with our tool that we use to place our orders. So when you have markets that are choppy and the markets are just running down, throwing spikes and grabbing orders and running orders and stop limit orders and all this other stuff, it keeps you out of that. Does it work every single time? Nothing in trading works every single time. It is impossible for everything to work every single time, right? So here's one on RTY, broke 3/4 candle, place the order, get filled, first profit target, second profit target. Here's another one on crude oil. Here's two of them on the Canadian dollar. All right. I mean, I don't want to show you a bunch of screenshots of all the trades or whatever. I just want you to get the idea. So now we're going to talk about the money flow tracker auto trader strategy, which is called Revolutions, but we call it Revo for short. So here, I'm going to show you some trades that it's taken, and then we'll get into what it does. 704 ticks. We only traded on MNQ, right? 665 ticks, 1,016 ticks. We were in this trade from basically the open all the way to about 145. We just stayed in and stayed in and stayed in. 792 ticks. So what does the auto trader do? So let me pull up the strategy because it's a lot easier for me to explain the strategy window than it is to do it on a screenshot. All right. So what were the rules? Remember the rules, right? We want the bias and the background and the C2. So we turn it on. We want the Laguerre signal, the lines on the colored lines on the bottom. We want them either red or green. We want the modified Laguerre, red or green. Not really worried about the volume threshold. We want the 50 and the 15 in the right position. We want them at the right color. Now the MA diff is how far away from the 50 period moving average is price. Now for different bar sizes and different markets, we have different MA diff numbers. So if the market's going up or going down and the MA diff is above 350, it will not take a trade. So the MA diff is kind of how we determine, and I hate these words, but overbought or oversold. And we follow the MA diff a lot because when the MA diff starts to get to this particular number, and it's not 350 on everything, some are 58, some are 115, some are 30, depends on the market and depends on the bar size. We expect a pullback within the couple of candles. So that's very important. Now we want to clear the pivots, all right? We want to clear the volume zones. We want the quant signals to be red or green. So what do I mean by clear pivots and clear volume zones? Well, let's look at this screen behind here. And if we have a setup, and there's not at least, our first profit target is 80 ticks, but it needs to go to 81 to get filled, right? If we don't have at least 81 ticks to that pivot, it will not take the trade. It will wait until it breaks it. So this is a very important setting. We don't want it to trade into resistance, right? We need to have at least the first profit target there, right? All these are settings. You can set it for time to turn it on, to turn it off. It has built-in money management. So we have a lot of traders. That still have jobs, and they're not able to trade all the time. So they subscribe to the Money Flow Tracker software, and they set their session limit at 1,000 and their session loss at 500. Now, if you're in the market and you're in a trade and you're up 1,500, it's not going to close at 1,000. It won't take another trade once that trade's closed. Or if you're down 500 for the day, it will stop trading. We only trade this on MNQ. Right? You can set how many contracts you want, your stop losses, all that stuff can be set. If you trade with a prop firm, you know you have to be out of the market before the market closes. So we have your exit on session close in seconds. And you turn it on and you just let it do its thing. And let's look at today, not so good. So this is the chart on MNQ. I didn't turn it on today because the markets were so choppy. But this trade here, it didn't take it because you would have been trading into this pivot. You would have been trading into this higher time frame support. And then there probably wasn't enough. Well, there was enough room. It probably would have taken this trade. But it would have, I don't know what the MA diff was when it was down here. I would imagine it was pretty high, so it probably didn't take that trade. But let's show you a day that we had great trades too. If we go back, this is at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'd have to load more data, and I really don't want to take that much time. But we have had some really, I forgot, this is what I wanted to show you. So we took a trade, we were in a trade on MNQ, and I hit my first profit target like within a couple minutes, right? And I said, I want to record this trade because I think this is going to be one of those really big trades. So I set my recorder and I recorded it. So I'm going to fast forward. So look, we're up 155 ticks. We're up 204 ticks. We're up 270 ticks. We're up 350 ticks. 489 ticks. Now, look at the MA diff over here. The arrow is kind of covering. It's 434, right? So I move, when you hit your first profit target, it moves to stop to break even. So when I look at my MA diff and it's getting above that number, that's when I start trailing it, moving it. So here we're up 570 ticks and we're out at 570 ticks. So what is that? Trading 4 contracts, taking 2 off at 80, so that's $80, and taking the other 2 off at 570. So that's 570 and 80, right? $650. And I didn't do anything except watch it. And when it's doing all this pullback stuff, it's giving you that knot in your stomach and you really want to take the profit. And it's really difficult to watch because NQ, you got to give it room to move. All right, so that was a live trade that I took and was a great trade. All right, here's the equity curve on 2021 and 2022. I don't have 2023 because I lost all my data. I'm going to do 2024, but I didn't have really time tonight to get it done. So why is this still here? Let me go to my next slide. All right. So what is the difference between the Revo Auto Trader and the AI Auto Trader? The Revo Auto Trader follows this money flow tracker software rules, and the AI Auto Trader trades the AI stuff. So how to pass the evaluations has nothing to do with trading. Believe it or not, if you were looking for tips on how to pass it with trading, you're not getting any. I already showed you how I pass them. All right, so here's the process. Don't focus on the carrot. What do I mean by that? Never focus on your profits. You know, I have a friend that's a floor trader, and he tells me, he says, you know what floor traders do all day long? They monitor their losses. They never focus on their profits. Unless they're in a big profit, yeah, then they're watching that profit. They don't want it to slip away, right? But they monitor, they focus all more on their risk than they do on their profits. So, and you know, when you focus on, well, you know what, if I risk this much, you know, I'm okay with taking a loss, you know, but my opportunity is there. And if you focus on trading well, what do I mean by trading well? If you focus on your setups, you focus on what you're doing, you wait for your setup, the profits will take care of themselves. Honestly, the profits will take care of themselves. Too many people trade and look at a trade and go, you know what, I only made 8 ticks on that trade. That was kind of crappy. Well, you didn't lose any money either, right? Here, you know, the challenges and evaluation is really designed to make you fail because of parameters that they put in place, like how many trading days you have to trade to pass, the trailing drawdown. Now that the trailing drawdown is the biggest reason why most people fail their evaluation accounts. You know, you have to really be in tune to what you're doing. And that's what I mean by trading well. This is my process that I go through when I'm trading is, you know, you think people think that, oh, I signed up with an Apex $50,000 account. I got 5 of them. I'm trading $250,000 worth of money. Nah, you're wrong, right? The way I look at it, I focus on my drawdown. You're not trading 50K, you're trading 2,500. Okay, so my risk is 10% of my drawdown on any one trade. So when I trade NQ, I can't trade 2 full contracts because that we use a 40 tick stop. And if I trade 1 full contract, that's $200. And if I trade 2 full contracts, I'm $400 on one trade. So I trade micros on NQ to keep myself within my risk parameters. So your win rate versus your reward. Now, if you're a one-to-one trader, you need to be at least 60% profitable, right? Winning trades to be profitable. If you're a 2-to-1 trader, you only need to be right 40% of the time. Let's say 50% of the time, right? So that's okay, you know. But if you're a 3-to-1 trader like I am, I could be wrong 70% of the time and still make money. Let that sink in. Do you know that most professional traders are only 40% win rate? All right. So rather than avoid risk, take intelligent risk, and this will give you a competitive edge. Just like this little mouse wants that piece of cheese. He also realizes this thing could cut loose and hit him in the head. So what does he do? He takes intelligent risk. He puts on his helmet. All right, so let's keep going because I like to keep my webinars to about an hour because I don't want to take up any more of your time. So what is trading success? Trading success is financial freedom. It could be you could work from home, you have no commute, you have no boss, and you have the advantage of being a full-time trader, which means is, let's say you wake up one morning and you're really not feeling that great, or you're like, you know, I just don't feel like trading, you know. So you could say, you know what, I don't want to trade today. But you can't do that if you have a job. You can't, unless you call out sick or you call out, but you can't do that. So you'll have those advantages, right? So Ian says, so 46 top means you make 120 tick for take profit. Well, you know, if it gives it to, it gives it to it. But in the long run, in the overall picture, I'm 3.5 to 1. Okay, some trades might only be 1 to 1. Some trades might be 2 to 1. We take what we can get. All right. So now you have two choices. I showed you the money flow tracker software. I showed you how awesome it is. Look, people ask me, well, if you're such a good trader, why are you doing this? Why are you running the trading room? And honestly, the reason is because I love trading. I love teaching people. You know, I had a business that, you know, I never hired experienced people. I trained them. I trained them to do things the way I wanted them done. You know, I've trained thousands of traders. So now you have two choices. Your first choice is do nothing and continue on your current path. But from the poll that I took, most traders are not consistent as they want to be. I don't know, a lot of newer traders, 1 to 3 year traders. You could take action today, and we trade 3 hours, 2 hours. Honestly, we probably trade an average about 3 hours in the morning and have no boss and total financial freedom. So the money flow tracker software, the benefits and features, it's easy to learn. You know, like I said, I've taught thousands of traders with it, and some people just get it, and I give them some lessons. We do a little coaching call. I've done web special sessions after the room, and you get all your workspaces. Perfect for beginners. Sometimes I wish I found this when I was a beginner. You know, I started with Rightline. I was a customer, right? I was a customer of theirs. I wasn't looking to run a trade room or do webinars and stuff. But you know what? They were looking for somebody to run a trade room for Forex. So we started the trade room for Forex. And Forex doesn't move that much, doesn't move a whole lot at times. So then we started adding crude oil and gold. And then we started adding NQ, and now we're not pretty much Forex, we're basically futures. It's perfect for any account size. I have lots of traders that trade micros, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, trading micros. I think MNQ trades 3 times the volume as NQ. Okay, micros are very popular with me. And you can trade Forex futures, stocks. You can trade stock options on with the signals. Okay, so for the first 10 traders that come aboard this evening, we have some powerful additional software and more. So the first thing you'll get if you sign up is the market analyzer. So this is the market analyzer that I use. We trade on the top of the bar sizes. So we trade different bar sizes for different markets. So we trade an 820/40 on NQ, but on YM and RTY, we trade a 2410. And CL, we trade, and copper and gold, we trade a 2510. All right, so let me put this up real quick. This is our NDT. Now, this is a strategy. This is what we use to place our orders. Buy on up close, sell on down close. You'll get the masterclass series on futures, Forex, stocks, and options. I've watched each of these. They're really good. You'll get 1 month in my trade room. Now, in my trade room, our trade rooms were part of a study that this Dr. Allen did, a 4-year evaluation. So in this study, we reviewed more than 225 trading websites and evaluated them using several factors, including their transparency, proven track record, and assisting traders with educational materials and online support. And we came out on top. Now, this was published in Traders World and Stock and Commodities Magazine. So here's a special offer for this evening. We have 3 different plans. We have a monthly, an annual, and a lifetime. So I need to put you on hold really quick. Sorry. I'm coming back. Sorry, when nature calls, you gotta go, you gotta go. All right, so we have the monthly. So what we're doing here is, oh, I don't know. You know what? I'm just gonna pull this screenshot down. All right, because I didn't get the bottom. So we're giving 25% off monthly, annually, and lifetime. So the monthly, and you'll see, you'll get, for the first 10 traders, you'll get the money flow tracker, you'll get the Revo auto trading, the market scanner, 1 month in the trade room, you'll get the NDT, and you'll get the tutorial library. So it turns out to $335 a month. The annual, you get all the same things. You save 25% is $17.95 a month. And those who want lifetime, it's normally $39.94. It's $29.95. All right. I don't know why it when I took the screenshot, the bottom part didn't show. Excuse me. So here's my commitment to everybody, is when you subscribe to the Money Flow Tracker software, is to help you become a successful trader. Remember, if you're not successful, it's not your fault. Again, if you're not successful, it's not your fault. You're just not using the right tools. What do I mean by that? So picture this. It's like taking a nail, trying to pound it in a piece of wood with a screwdriver. Yeah, if you sit there long enough, you'll probably get it in the piece of wood. But if you use the right tool, the hammer, a couple of shots and you're done, right? So the Money Flow Tracker software is totally unique. It will give you the edge to trade with the institutional order flow. So again, my commitment to you is to teach you not just how to read the setup. Reading the setups is the easiest part, but also help you develop that mental mindset you must have. Where did that come from? Have order is a haver. Have, you must have in order to achieve financial independence. All right. And I'm really serious about this because when I commit to something, I commit to it. All right. So anybody that's in the webinar, hold on a second, Rory's texting me. He says, welcome, Helene. Welcome, Paul, Sergio, and Luisa. I welcome you guys. I appreciate it. Look forward to working with you in the trade room tomorrow. All right. If you prefer to speak with us before you subscribe, put your name and your phone number in the questions box. And if you put your name and your phone number in the questions box, you will be guaranteed to get all the extra, the auto trader, the market scanner, the NDT, all the extra bonuses you will get by putting your name and your number in the questions box. And you have no obligation to purchase after we call you. We will only call you once, unless we can't get through to you. We might try to call you twice, but if we call you and it's not a good fit for you, we won't call you again. You know, I hate when people do that, you know, and because I don't like when people do that, we won't do that to other people. All right. So it's a well-known fact that 95 to 98% of day traders and swing traders are losing money. This guy here, he's a retail trader. My cousin works at a brokerage firm that trades futures. I'm not going to say which one. Somebody says which one. And he says we love when a retail trader opens up a $5,000 or $10,000 account. He says normally you open up a $10,000 account. Some open $5,000, but he says we know these guys are going to be out of the trading business within a few weeks or a month or two, but not our traders. Why? Because our traders, when the retail trader is losing money, who do you think is taking it? The institutional traders. Right? We trade with these guys, not with these guys. So how do we know? Right? So there's the plan. How do we know? Let me pull over a chart and I'll explain to you how we know. And I'll put the plans up again here. And obviously the market's closed. So here's a chart on NQ. See this counter on the bottom? Obviously it's not moving much. So this tells us how many contracts NQ is trading per minute. So every minute it resets back to zero. Now we have a certain amount of contracts we look for per minute when institutions are trading. And when we don't, we know they're not. That's how we know when they're trading. All right, so again, here are the subscriptions: monthly, 25% off, $335; annually, 25% off, $17.95; and one-time payments, 25% off at $29.95. Now again, if you put your name and your phone number in the questions box, you will guarantee to get the auto trader and all the extra bonuses. Okay. So this is a reel of a whole bunch of traders, but this is the particular one that I like. So this woman was in a webinar like you are, and she really wanted her, she has a friend that's a trader, but he didn't really want to teach her how to trade. You know, he didn't want to take the responsibility that she would lose money, and then she'd come to him and say, yeah, I traded your method and I lost money. So she was in the webinar. She liked what she saw, so she contacted Mark, and Mark took her under his wing, and this was before me, and taught, it says here, Mark taught me things. So what he did was he sat her down in front of a computer, showed her the setups, explained a whole bunch of stuff like I do with all my students, and she sat there for 4 months. He says, when you have a green background and all these things are lined up, and I want you to click on buy and up close. And when you have a red dark pink background and you have everything lined up, I want you to click on down close. Well, to make a long story short, she's now a 6-figure trader. I asked her one day, do you trade every day? And she says to me, if I have no setup, I don't take no trade. Just like that, period. This is a guy that was in a webinar just like you are, and he sent me a message in the questions box. He says, I'm the world's worst trader. I've been at this a long time. I just spin my wheels and I'm thinking of quitting, but I really like what you say. Will you help me? Well, all you have to do is say to me, I need help, and I will help you. So he's been trading with the money flow tracker software for a few months, about 3 or 4 months, and he sends this email to Rightline. And he says, I started watching David's trading room every morning, learned the methodology, learned the rules for trading. We only take specific setups and rules. We have a success rate around 70%. He says, I now have 7 accounts at Apex and 7 accounts at Bullnox. I don't know if it's called Bullnox, Bullinox, Bluenox, whatever. I'm pronouncing it the way I pronounce it. Now he's got 20 Apex accounts and 10 Bullnox accounts. And he goes along and he says, the money flow tracker software with methodology and rules allows me to act like a robot and eliminate guesswork from emotions from my trading. So every day we use the NDT. I showed you the picture. That's what we use to execute our trade. A single push button to enter a trade when we see the correct setup and follow rules. So he looks at it this way now. Every day it's simple. See the setup, he pushes the button. See the setup, push the button. See the setup, push the button. He sent me this screenshot at 10:36 in the morning, about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. And he says to me, now the market's only been open an hour and 6 minutes. He says, plus 4,265 trading, 4 accounts, ring the bell, I'm done, I'm out of here. And he logged out of the room and quit. Screen is cut off? No, this isn't cut off. That's just a screenshot that I put on the bottom. All right. So again, these are our plans that we're doing. The monthly is $335, the yearly is $17.95, and the one-time lifetime is $29.95, and you'll get all the extra bonuses. So if you're interested, all you need to do is go to what did I do with that? You can go, I don't know if Roy, did you put the link in the bottom of the chat? Yes. So in the bottom of the chat window, go to webinar, not the questions box, the chat window, Rory put a link. So I'm going to click on the link. It brings you right to the Money Flow Tracker page. If you go to rightlinetrading.com, if you go to our homepage, you just click on Trading Systems, Money Flow Tracker, and it brings you to the same page. And just scroll down to the bottom here, the mid-top, and just click here, sign me up. So let's say you want an annual. So you click here. You don't have to put a coupon code in, it's already applied. And if you come down to the bottom, it's normally $23.94 a year. Right? You're going to get the Auto Trader, the NDT, the Masterclass, 1 month in the room. And here's your 25% off for $17.95. And on top of it, when you renew next year in 2026, we're going to keep you at the same price, even if we have a price increase. You're going to pay, you'll be grandfathered into the same price. So you just have to go to rightlinetrading.com, Trading Systems, or you can click on that link in the chat. All right. And 1 second. So he says, welcome, Pauline, Roger, what's his name? Alberto? Rito? I don't know. Sorry if I'm messing up your name, right? All right. So you guys, I look forward to working with you in the trade room and getting you profitable, helping you get profitable. If you put your name and your phone number, like I said before, in the questions box, and you would like to talk with us after the webinar or do your purchase over the phone instead of doing it online, or for any reason, we will, Roy says, anybody that puts their name in the questions box, whatever, will be guaranteed all the extra bonuses. Even if we sell 15 tonight, you'll still get the extra bonuses. I think that's pretty cool that he's doing that. All right, and that's pretty much all I have. So again, if you would like to subscribe, just go to rightlinetrading.com or click on that link, go to the Money Flow Tracker, click on any one of these, put in your information, you'll get an email, welcome you, you'll set up a, you go with Charles. Charles is our tech guy. He installs all the software. He'll take over your computer. He'll install everything for you, get you all set up, and all that stuff. Jonathan, where are you? Are you located on the East Coast, West Coast? You want to set up a time with Rory for like in the it's 8 o'clock. Oh, you're in Asia. You know what? Why don't you put your Skype ID? Oh, you're working now listening to me. I love that job. Is that your Skype ID in the questions box? Jonathan dot blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right, I'll have Rory Skype you in the morning in the U.S. East Coast time, probably 9 o'clock. What time is that at your time? Is that good for you? All right. Okay, Jonathan. Rory will be getting with you. Ken. With you want to renew your monthly with me, not the other guy, me. Yeah, he'll call you. Anybody else? Before we go, we're about an hour, a little bit more than an hour. Okay. All right, everybody, you will get a recording of this if you want to watch the recording again before you decide anything. I understand. You'll get a lot more when you watch the recording, but I just want to thank everybody for attending, listening to me talk about my passion, which is trading. I love trading. I think trading is the best business. I had a conventional business for a long time. Yeah, anybody that's registered will get the recording. All right. Have a great evening, morning, afternoon, depending where you I can't hate when my tongue gets it. Depending where you are located. And I appreciate this, and I look forward to working with all the people that signed up and some of you guys. All right. So if you ever have any questions, you can always call us. Our phone number is on the website. Take care, good night, and God bless everybody.